All right, so I had to modify and improve my ramp situation on this trailer before I could even back this zero turn off of this thing. So the ramps I had before essentially just sat on this piece of angle iron and they slid off very easy, and I did not feel secure in backing a 1,200-pound machine with those ramps. So I modified some planks that I had and I turned them into these nice ramps. So I've got some 3/8 with some water pipe that I welded together, and I made some hinges, some nice 1/4-inch material I had laying around. So these now stand up out of the way and they drop really easy. So those aren't coming off of there. I bolted these together so that they'll be really nice and tight, and they just kind of fold up out of the way. Whenever I need them, I'll just drop them down. They're tall, they're 6 foot long, and they're made of 2x12. So I bolted those all together, and those are nice. So I'm gonna back this thing off of this trailer now for the first time, and hopefully these ramps perform as intended. This is the 22 horse Kawasaki, and this is the, it's hard to say, but this is an FH661V model engine. This is one of the commercial series engines, and it's a pretty darn good engine. I haven't had a lot of time on it yet, but it just how easy it is to service this thing. I think this is going to be a pretty darn nice little unit. So before I start using this thing and mowing with it, I want to go through it, check everything out, check the deck, make sure the spindles are in good shape, check the air pressure, put some new fuel in it, grease it all up. I want to change the oil because the oil looked kind of nasty. The oil filter is easy to get to, actually, if you go down here. So oil filter, and there's the oil drain right below it. Relatively easy because there's a hole in the frame for all of the oil to drain through, so we'll take care of that. All right, with that drain, we'll take that oil filter off. Let that drain for a bit. So the original filter was a Kawasaki oil filter. Now I'm putting in a CarQuest oil filter, which is brought to you by Baldwin. So that's just what they had, and I always just buy all my auto parts down there at CarQuest because they're right up the road. I'm also going to use some of this 1030 full synthetic. This is just what they had on the shelf, and it's not that I prefer this stuff, it's just that it's easy and convenient, and it's good stuff for the most part. So in case anyone wanted to know, that's the number for the Kawasaki filter. I always just like to write the date and the engine hours whenever I'm doing these filters, just so I'll know however long it is that I go before service intervals. Wow, the lettering even almost lined up, so I can read it on the outside. That doesn't happen very often. Now don't over torque these because this is just a plastic drain plug. but it does like to drip a little bit if you don't tighten her up enough, so just get it snug. Got the oil spill all cleaned up, and now we're ready to put some oil in this thing. So this thing takes just a little under 2 quarts to fill this thing. Of course, you want to start the engine, let it circulate through the oil filter, and then you'll check it again, and you'll find that on the dipstick, it's just about right after you get 2 quarts in this thing. It's hard to see on the dipstick, but that's just about right. So 2 quarts will get you right where she wants to be. Several grease fittings on this machine. Grease fittings on the mower deck spindles. There. And there. Also, on the front steering spindles, grease fitting there and there. So, in the belly of the machine here, we've got grease fittings here and here. Now those are for the e-brake, so make sure to grease those.